Good evening and welcome to another edition of the Mercy Athletics live stream. Tonight we have a matchup in women's college basketball between the visiting St. Thomas Aquinas College Spartans and your Mercy College Mavericks. I'm Sean Maldonado here with the commentary of tonight's action, and we'll be getting started here shortly with the starting lineups. First for the visiting Spartans, number 25, Kellyanne Averill will start at forward. Another forward here, number 30, Emily Preston. Number 13, Ruth Adams will start at guard. At the small forward position will be number 22, Chelsea Murphy. And at the shooting guard position, number 10, Julia Winnick. The Spartans are coached by Kim Lusk. In her 11th season as coach, they have a 6-1 record. And now the starting lineup for your Mercy College Mavericks. The Mavericks come into this matchup with a record of 3-3 under first season head coach Scott Lagas. And their starting lineup is as follows. At guard, number 1, Tasia Bender. At forward, number 23, Amber Brown. The sophomore leads the team with 20.9 points per game. At the other guard, number 3, Holly Sanders. At forward, number 5, Abigail Collier. And at small forward, number 15, Cynthia Perez, the senior captain of the Mavericks, fills out the starting lineup. This is the first matchup for either team in the East Coast Conference play. And we'll look to see who comes out on top, as the Spartans are in first place overall with the record of 6-1 on the season, and the Mavericks sit at number 7. Key matchup to look at for the Mavericks will be how forward Amber Brown matches up inside against Emily Preston. Preston is a 6-foot-tall forward from Brisbane, Australia, and leads the Spartans in most statistical categories. The jump between Collier and Preston is won by Preston and is dribbled up by Averill. She dribbles to her right and finds Thomas. The handoff over to Winnick. Adams drives and shoots with the left hand, and it goes in. The early left-handed layup gives the Spartans a 2-0 lead. Early press here. Brown gets it over half court and finds Sanders in the right corner. Dribbling to her right. She drives and is fouled on the play by Adams. That is Adams' first foul, the team's first foul of the first quarter. Bender will inbound from the baseline. In danger of a 5-second violation, she throws it up top for Amber Brown, comes around off a screen and gets it herself. Bender calls for a screen, gets one from Collier to the left. Perez on the left wing passes over to Sanders. Sanders back to Perez for three. Shot's no good. Rebounded by Preston up the court to Winnick. To Adams, she drives baseline. Her shot's no good. Rebounded by Preston, and the putback is good. Another press here from the Spartans. Brown brings it over and hits Bender with a bounce pass. Perez back out to Brown, who drives with a left hand. It's off glass, and it's good. Brown gets the Mavericks on the board. They trail 4-2. Averill up top, passes it to Preston. Looking inside, she finds Averill posting up. The turnaround jump shot is good from Averill. Bender over to Brown. She crosses half court and finds Sanders in the right wing. Up top to Bender, wide open for three. That one's good. Taysha Bender. Averill on the baseline, back over to Thomas. That one's no good. Rebound was fought over, and the foul was made by 25, Kellyanne Averill. That's her first, the team's second of the first quarter. The Mavericks take possession. They trail 6-5 with 7:56 left in this first quarter. Bender over to her left, calls up Collier for a screen, gets it to her right. Sanders looking inside, finds Collier posting up. Over to Perez, she drives baseline, throws up the left-handed layup, and is fouled underneath on the play. Foul is going to be charged to number 30, Emily Preston. That's her first, the team's third of the first quarter. First shot is no good for Perez, the team's senior captain from Christ the King High School. We'll have another shot here. Second one is in, 1 for 2 that time for Perez. And up comes Murphy. Murphy, the pass inside was knocked away by Sanders. And the ball will stay with the Spartans. Inbounding will be Murphy. Murphy over to Winnick. Up top to Preston. She's looking and finds a cutting Winnick. In the left corner, the shot from Zaria Thomas is good. She checks in for Ruth Adams. Bender calls up for another screen, gets it from Collier. Finds Brown, guarded closely by Averill. Dribbles and finds Perez up top. Over to Bender, drives, kicks it down low to Collier for the jump shot. Rims out, rebounded by Averill. Thomas over to Preston. Preston finds Winnick. Back up top, Murphy for three was no good. Chased down by Averill, the rebound. Preston calling up Averill inside, guarded closely by Sanders. Averill posting up on Sanders now. Mismatch in height. Averill gets her own miss. Back out to Winnick for three. That one's good. Julia Winnick for three gives the Spartans a 12-6 lead. Brown on the right wing. Over to Perez. Dribbles to her left and finds Bender on the left wing. Cross-court pass to Perez. Looks inside and finds Collier, posting up on Preston. Bender's drive. The shot went off the side of the backboard. Rebounds corralled by Winnick. Murphy over to Winnick. On the baseline to Averill. Ball is passed up top to Murphy. Preston up top. At the free throw line, Averill. Over to Winnick for three, wide open. Shot's no good. Rebounds grabbed by Preston. Another three from Thomas. That one's no good. Averill gets the rebound. 2 offensive rebounds there for the Spartans. Winnick can't get the left-handed layup to go. Bender with the rebound, pushes for the Mavericks. Perez over to Brown. Some contact there from Averill, but play continues. Bender back over to Brown. Dribbles to her left. Nice up and under move, but the basket doesn't go. Winnick grabs the rebound and finds Murphy. Murphy guarded closely by Bender. Inside to Averill. Murphy over to Preston. Preston back over to Murphy on the right wing. Inside, Preston working on Collier. That shot's no good. Collier gets the rebound. Bender will push. Sanders on the right wing. Looks inside, but decides to go cross-court to Brown. Brown setting up the offense. The handoff to Bender. Dribbles to her right. Gets a screen from Collier on the left, but is going to be called for a moving screen. Collier picks up her first foul. The team's first of the first quarter. Side out here for the Spartans. Substitution number 11, Jillian Lynch checks in for Kellyanne Averill for the Spartans. Murphy dribbles up and finds Sadler. Another substitution was made. Sadler inside on Collier. The shot is no good. Rebound is fought over and grabbed by Sadler. Back out to Thomas. Her three-point attempt's no good. Bender pushes. Setting up the offense. Wants to send somebody around. Gets Perez on the right wing. Brown up top. Over to Sanders. Sanders' pass is intercepted. Sadler to Murphy. And Thomas finishes on the other end. Timeout called by the Mavericks. 30-second timeout. Mavericks trail 14-6 here with 3:42 left in this first quarter. They've had trouble getting the ball inside thus far. 2 passes have been intercepted on entry passes into the low post. Probably have to try either a bounce pass or a screen to free up a post player to get their inside shot opportunities to go. Play resumes here. For the Spartans, they bring out Sadler, Winnick, Lynch, Thomas, and Murphy. And for the Mavericks, they have Brown, Bender, Perez, Sanders, and Alexis Lake takes the place of Abigail Collier, number 42. Lake gets the pass from Bender. Finds her in the corner. She dribbles baseline. Throws up the right-handed layup, and it's good. Taysha Bender. The freshman guard cuts the deficit to 6. Sadler up top. Finds a cutting Lynch. Lynch looking for a pass. Finds Murphy inside the Sadler. Posting up on Lake. Shot's no good. Rebound is fought over and corralled by Lynch. Murphy drives. Kicks it back out to Winnick for 3. Shot's no good. Lake. Fought over the rebound with Sadler, and the jump ball gives possession to the Mavericks. Foul will be called on number 2, Melissa Sadler. That's her first, the team's 4th. Kellyanne Averill, number 25, checks back in for the Spartans in place of Jillian Lynch, number 11. Bender is stripped by Murphy. She pushes. The kick out to Winnick goes wide. And the Mavericks will take possession. Spartans make another substitution. Number 12, Alexa Huertas checks in for Chelsea Murphy. Bender with the free throw line jump shot, gets it to go. Bender's got 7 points here for the Mavericks. Averill over to Sadler. Sadler inside to Averill, working on Brown. Up top. Back inside to Sadler. Against Lake at that time, the shot's no good, but the rebound was corralled by Huertas. Her shot's no good. Perez gets the rebound and finds Bender. Bender pushes over to Brown. Looking inside for Lake. Good close out there from Sadler. Perez is stripped by Thomas, who finishes on the other way with a fast break layup. 16-10 the score, 1 minute 49 seconds left in this first quarter. Bender over to Sanders on the right wing. Perez dribbles and looks inside. Can't get it, and that one's stripped away. Winnick that time with the steal and gets the fast break layup of her own. Spartans extend their lead to 8. Bender over to Lake up top. Cross court now to Bender on the wing for 3. It's good. Tasha Bender. She has 10 points in this first quarter. The Mavericks trail by 5, 18-13. Sadler over to Huertas. Inside to Averill. Working on Brown. She gets it to go off the glass. Bender. Shuffling things around, finds Brown up top. Inside to Lake. She gets the pass on the baseline over to Bender. Inside, trying to go for Brown, posting up on Averill, but it's knocked away and stolen by Averill. Fake by Winnick. Draws a block attempt, and the kick out to Thomas for 3 is good. Zaria Thomas has 7 for the Spartans. 23-13. 9 seconds left in the quarter. Bender over to Sanders. Gets a screen from Bender to her left. Quick double off the screen. She throws up a shot last second. Was heavily contested by Huertas, and the period comes to an end. At the end of the first quarter, the Mavericks trail the Spartans 23-13. Top performers of that first quarter, Tasha Bender knocked in 2 threes and a couple of layups of her own to get 10 points. She leads all scorers in this one thus far. And for the Spartans, Zaria Thomas chipped in 7 points. Julia Winnick has 5, and Kellyanne Averill has 4. 5 fouls were committed in that first quarter. 1 on the Mavericks was charged to Abigail Collier, and 4 were charged to the Spartans. Sadler, Adams, Averill, and Preston each charged with 1 as we head into the second quarter. Good defensive pressure put on these Maverick guards up top, trying to make passes into the interior. We'll see what head coach Scott Lagas does with his game plan going forward to try and combat this. On the court to begin the second quarter, we have number 25, Kellyanne Averill, number 12, Alexa Huertas, number 30, Emily Preston, number 13, Ruth Adams, and number 10, Julia Winnick. And for the Mavericks, Bender is out there with Brown. Alexis Lake is in at the center position with Perez and Sanders. Problem with the shot clock there. Ball be inbounded on the sideline. Looks like they got the technical issue under control. And play will continue. Perez looking and finds Sanders. Ball was tapped out of bounds. Mavericks will inbound once again. That one is inbounded to Bender. Going to be called for a 10-second violation. Mavericks couldn't get it over the half-court line in time. Now they're discussing, due to the clock delay, if the 10-second violation would stand. Looks like the ruling is upheld and the Spartans will inbound. Averill into Huertas. Over to Averill. Adams off a screen. Drives, but she's going to be called for traveling. Mavericks will take possession on the sideline here. Brown inbounds to Bender. Press being instituted here by the Spartans. Perez over to Bender. Bender wanted Lake inside, but was stolen away by Preston. Sanders chases down Averill, and she has to regroup as the Mavericks had numbers. Inside, Adams is wide open in the post and gets the layup to go. Inbound is met with a press once again. Sanders over to Brown. Deflected away by Adams. The ball is chased down and knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Amber Brown. Spartans will take possession. Substitutions coming in for the Mavericks. Number 2, Anna Zabaraska. And number 10, Brianne Santos. Take the place of Holly Sanders and Tasha Bender in the backcourt. Huertas gets the inbound, guarded closely by Santos. Lake guarded Preston closely. Pass inside to Averill, resulted in a miss. Santos over to Zabaraska. Drives and finds Santos. Looks inside, back out to Zabaraska. Santos for 3. Shot's good. Brianne Santos. The entry pass from Winnick to Averill is knocked out of bounds. Holly Sanders will check back in for the Mavericks in place of Amber Brown. And Chelsea Murphy takes the place of Alexa Huertas for the Spartans. Murphy up top now. Over to Averill on the left wing. Preston flashes and gets the ball. Averill working on Sanders. Adams drives and is going to be fouled on the way up that time by Cynthia Perez. Number 15, Cynthia Perez, was charged with the foul. Her first, the team's first of the second quarter. Ruth Adams, number 13, will shoot 2 for the Spartans. She connects on the first. The Spartans lead by 11, 27-16 with 8:02 left in the second quarter. She goes 2 for 2 that time from the line. Perez inbounds to Santos. Finds Sanders over the halfway line. Sanders inside to Lake. Forces her way up and gets the bucket inside. Alexis Lake. Preston up top, guarded by Lake. Perez comes out to guard Winnick. Preston working on Lake that time. Shot's no good. Last deflected out by a Spartan. The Mavericks will take possession. 2 subs coming in for the Spartans. Number 2, Melissa Sadler, and number 5, Zaria Thomas, take the place of number 25, Kellyanne Averill, and number 13, Ruth Adams. Santos into Sanders. Sanders looks and finds Zaborowska in the corner for 3. Too much on that one. Rebound is chased down by Winnick. Murphy brings it up now. Dribbling to her left to set up the offense. Up top to Sadler. Sadler over to Thomas. To Murphy. Murphy drives and is fouled on the way up that time. The foul is going to be charged number 10, Brianne Santos. Her first, the team's second of the second quarter. Number 22, Chelsea Murphy, will shoot 2 for the Spartans. She makes the first of 2. The second is good. 2 for 2 that time for Murphy. Santos gets the inbounds pass and is fouled hard that time by Thomas. That's Thomas's first. The team's first of the second quarter. Zaborowska up court with the outlet pass to Sanders. Perez gets the handoff, drives, can't get the layup to go. Rebound's fought over by Sanders, and it's going to be a jump ball. Possession arrows going to the Spartans. Sadler to inbounds. Murphy over to Winnick. Up top to Thomas. Murphy on the left wing. Sadler from the elbow. That shot's no good. Zaborowska cleans the glass and finds Santos. Zaborowska drives the lane and kicks it out to Sanders. Good footwork there to keep in bounds. Santos drives the lane. She throws up a shot after the contact by Murphy. Santos will head to the line for 2. Murphy picks up her first foul, the team's second of the second quarter. First rims out for Brianne Santos. Number 12, Alexa Huertas, checks back in for the Spartans in place of number 22, Chelsea Murphy. Santos gets that one to roll in 1 for 2 that time. 31-19, 6:31 left in this second quarter. Winnick finds Preston at the free throw line. Back out to Winnick for 3. Shot's no good. Rebound fought over and corralled by Sadler, who gets the put-back left-handed layup. Santos finds Perez up top. Perez looking to make it a pass. Took a couple steps that time, traveling violation. The Spartans will inbound. Huertas over to Thomas. Huertas back over to Thomas in the corner after a screen. That one's good. 3-point field goal, Zaria Thomas. Gives her 10 points on the evening and extends this Maverick deficit to 15. 17. Sanders is fouled up top that time by Preston. Number 30, Emily Preston, picks up her second foul, the team's third. Zaborowska to inbound for the Mavericks. But a substitution quickly. Number 13, Ruth Adams, takes the place of number 30, Emily Preston. Lake gets the inbounds, throws up a nice turnaround layup, and Lake is on the board once again this time, picking up her 4th point of the night. The shot was missed that time. out of bounds. The Mavericks will take possession. 36-21. The Mavericks trail. 5:18 left. Perez on the left wing. Wanted a cutting Sanders, but takes it herself. Kicks it out to Zaborowska. Santos, left wing. Drives lane. Out to Zaborowska. Can't find any room on the baseline and finds Sanders up top. Sanders floater in the lane. That one's going to be fought over. Sanders gets her own rebound. Zaborowska over to Sanders. Trying to let things set up. Perez goes up with the right hand and is going to head to the free throw line. That time the harm was committed by number 2, Melissa Sadler. Her second, the team's fourth. Cynthia Perez will shoot 2. Her first is good. Substitutions incoming for the Spartans. Number 11, Jillian Lynch, and number 25, Kellyanne Averill, take the place of number 13, Ruth Adams, and number 2, Melissa Sadler. Perez to shoot once again from the line. That free throw cuts the deficit to 14 points. Timeout is called by the Spartans.
4:47 remaining in the first half.
Excuse me, the Mavericks call a full timeout. A little bit of fight in the second quarter from the Mavericks. They've been able to get the ball inside after some second chance opportunities given to them by rebounds and chasing down loose balls. 4:47 left in this first half. See if the Mavericks can cut into this deficit and turn around a tough offensive performance thus far. Don't forget, fans, after the conclusion of this women's contest, we have a men's matchup between the St. Thomas Aquinas College Spartans and Your Mercy Mavericks. Be sure to stay tuned for that one. That's coming up at 7 p.m. Players returning to the floor after that full timeout. Averill, Alexa Huertas, Julia Winnick, Zaria Thomas, and Jillian Lynch on the court for the Spartans. Averill drives that time on Lake. Her shot's no good. Perez is knocked out of bounds, trying to make a pass. It's stolen away by Thomas. Thomas out to Winnick. Lynch open on the baseline. That one was no good. Lake collects the rebound and finds Sanders. Sanders over to Santos. Calling for Lake. Gets a screen to her left. Wanted the pick and roll. Couldn't find it. Perez wide open for 3. No good. Averill gets the rebound. Huertas up top to Winnick. Lynch, Winnick. Huertas inside. That good ball movement there from the Spartans. Perez guarding Winnick. And Winnick's going to be called for the offensive foul. Good defense there from Perez. Changes possession. Julia Winnick picks up her first. The team's fifth of the second quarter. Abigail Collier, number 5, checks in for the Mavericks in place of Alexis Lake, number 42. And for the Spartans, number 22, Chelsea Murphy, takes the place of Alexa Huertas, number 12. Zaborowska over to Sanders. Gets a screen from Collier, but is going to be called for the offensive foul. Collier going to be called for the offensive foul. Team's third. Collier's first of the evening. Murphy drives on Santos. Throws up the right-handed layup and gets it to go off glass. Santos over to Perez. Finding Zaborowska, left wing. Inside the Perez, pass knocked away by Averill. Possession will stay with the Mavericks on the baseline. Santos to inbound. Collier gets the inbounds pass. Out to Zaborowska. Shoots a three, top of the key. No good. Lynch corrals the rebound. Thomas over to Murphy. Over to Lynch, left wing. Murphy inside to Averill, working on Collier. Her shot's no good. Zaborowska up to Sanders. Drives baseline, throws up the reverse. No good. Winnick tried to fake out Perez and finds Averill. Back over to Lynch. Inside Averill that time, working on Collier. Good defense there. But persistence gets Averill the second chance opportunity, and she converts. 40-23, 2:13 left in this second quarter. Sanders gets a screen from Collier. Zaborowska inside the Collier. Looks cross court to Perez for three in the corner. Shot's no good. Averill gets the rebound and is fouled. Foul's going to be on number 2, Anna Zaborowska. It's her first, the team's fourth of the second quarter. Amber Brown checks back in for the Mavericks in place of Cynthia Perez. And number 21, Victoria Carisco, checks in for Kellyanne Averill, number 25, for the Spartans. Murphy met up top by Santos. Over to Carisco. Loose ball fought over. Possession arrows going to the Mavericks. Santos gets a screen from Collier. Stops, finds Brown. Dribbling that time, loses it. Is able to corral possession. Was called for a double dribble. Strange play there. Looked like she lost possession and regained it on the strip. But play will continue. Murphy over to Thomas in the left wing. Looking inside. Can't find anybody open. Carisco over to Thomas. Carisco finds Murphy. Fakes a shot. Santos guarding her closely. Dribbles to her left and finds a wide open Thomas for three. Shot's no good. Murphy gets the rebound and dribbles out. Resets. 1 minute left. Second quarter. Lynch inside. Good pass from Lynch. Sets up the opportunity for Murphy, and she's fouled that time by Santos. Brianne Santos picks up her second, the team's fifth of the second quarter. Chelsea Murphy converts the first of two shots. Julia Winnick will check out, and number 12, Alexa Huertas, takes her place for the Spartans. Those two free throws bring the score 41-23 in favor of the Spartans. Brown over to Zaborowska. Finds Sanders off the screen. Dribbles, throws up the floater in the lane. It is good. Holly Sanders, the junior guard from Chicago, Illinois, scores her first bucket of the game. Murphy in the left wing finds Thomas up top. Off a screen, she can't make the three. Santos brings it over. Brown driving, throws up a wild shot. Too much on it, rebounded by Thomas. Murphy pushes. Finds a wide open Lynch for three at the buzzer. No good. And after a half a play, the Spartans will take a 42-25 lead into the locker room. Some top performers in that first half. Number 5, Zaria Thomas, chipped in 10 points for the Spartans. And number 25, Kellyanne Averill, and number 22, Chelsea Murphy, each had 6 points as well for the Spartans. Cynthia Perez added 4 for the Mavericks. Excuse me, 3. The substitution made for Santos paid dividends. She added 2 buckets for a total of 4 points. Taysha Bender, the starting point guard, added 10 points for the Mavericks. And both teams have 5 fouls total. Going into the second half, we're going to have Brianna Santos and Cynthia Perez in foul trouble here. 2 fouls each. And for the Spartans, Jillian Lynch added a nice performance of 3 rebounds and a steal in that first half. 6 minutes of play for Lynch. Look at the side-by-side stats. The Mavericks shot better than the Spartans, shooting 55.6% to the Spartans' 40% from the field. And they also shot better from 3. 2 for 3 for a percentage of 66.7 compared to a 3 for 9 performance by the Spartans from deep in the first quarter. But the second quarter was where things shifted in the Spartans' direction. They went to the free throw line 6 times, converting all 6 free throw attempts. And both teams matched their field goal percentage, each shooting 33.3% from the field. Also, both teams went cold from downtown, only converting 1 of their 5 and 6 shots respectively. Cynthia Perez has put up a nice performance for the Mavericks. She's chipped in 3 points, an assist, and a rebound in 18 minutes of play, including 3 free throws made.
He's got the layup, 3 seconds in. Oh, we need that free throw. Good rebound. Still up 12 seconds. Come on, fans, show him some encouragement. Almost. He's still got time. 10 seconds. 9. He's got time. Can he get the shot up? For the goal. For the pizza. For the calzone. He shoots. It's up.
Shots made by a member of the Mercy College student body. He was competing for a $25 San Gennaro's gift card. He completed the task of scoring a layup, free throw, and 3-pointer in 30 seconds. Congratulations to that young man.
Fans, this is your last call for the 50-50 raffle. Last call
For the Spartans, their leading scorer was Zaria Thomas. She had 13 points to go along with a steal and 1 rebound in 16 minutes of play. We'll return after a short halftime break. Stay tuned also for the second half of this doubleheader that'll feature a matchup between the St. Thomas Aquinas College Spartans men's basketball team and your Mercy College Mavericks men's basketball team. That'll begin at the conclusion of this contest at 7 p.m. We'll be right back.
885-005.
Welcome back to another Mercy College Athletics live stream. Just about 17 seconds out of the beginning of the second half. The score, the St. Thomas Aquinas College Spartans 42, the Mercy Mavericks 25. The Spartans will start with possession in the third quarter. Thomas to inbound. Murphy brings it up to start off this third quarter. Dribbles to her left and finds a flashing Preston. Thomas cut to the basket, but the pass was too long from Preston that time. The Mavericks will take possession and will be met by a press. Lake comes up and gets the inbounds from Brown. Sanders over to Bender. Dribbles to her right and hands off to Sanders. Perez up top. Over to Bender in the corner. Perez looks for Brown, but it was deflected out of bounds. Last touch by the Mavericks. The Spartans take possession. Murphy over to Preston on the elbow. Looks and finds Adams. Driving on Brown. Gets the left-handed layup to go. Ruth Adams adds the first 2 points of the second half for the Spartans. Brown over to Perez. That one's knocked away, regained by Perez. Bender looking inside and finds Sanders. She drives, throws up the right-handed layup. That one's no good. Adams cleans the glass and finds Murphy. Winnick throws up a right-handed layup. That one's no good. Perez finds Bender on the outlet and she pushes. Back out to Perez. She runs the floor, but couldn't keep possession of the underhand pass from Bender. Murphy brings it up. Over to Adams. Sanders guarding her closely. Winnick over to Murphy. Winnick for three. Yes, that one is good from the top of the key that time. Lake over to Brown. Hands off to Bender. Looking inside, dribbles to her right and hands off to Sanders. Gets a screen from Lake. Preston hedges out on the screen. Bender for three. That one's no good. Rebounded by Brown. Wanted the reverse, but thought better of it. Took the extra dribble and got the putback two with the right hand. Brown cuts the deficit to 20. Press Averill that time. Over to Winnick for three on the right wing. Shot's no good. The rebound bounds away, and the Mavericks will take possession. Sanders, guarded closely by Murphy. Over to Brown. She's picked up by Averill. The drive, and that one just rims out from Brown, but she was fouled on the way up that time. And that one will be charged to number 25, Kellyanne Averill. That's her second, the team's first of the third quarter. Amber Brown to shoot two. First one gets the friendly bounce. The sophomore from South Brunswick, New Jersey converts both that time from the line. Adams drives and finds Averill. Back up to Murphy. Brings it up top and resets. Winnick back to Murphy. Inside to Averill from the right elbow. Shot's no good. Rebounded by Brown. She takes it herself. Inside to Lake. That one knocked away by a retreating Averill. The Mavericks will inbound from the baseline. Bender looking for an inbounds pass. Need to get one in soon. Okay, and she does. Brown over to Perez. Sanders up top. Inside, Lake posting up on Preston. He's going to be fouled on the way up that time. Preston picks up her third. The team's second of the third quarter. The freshman Alexis Lake will shoot two for the Mavericks. First shot hits back rim and is no good. Substitution for the Spartans, number 2, Melissa Sadler takes the place of number 30, Emily Preston. Preston takes a seat with 3 fouls. Lake can't get that one to go either. Rebounded by Murphy. Adams over to Winnick in the corner. 3-pointer off the rim. Rebounded by Sanders. Bender driving inside the Lake. Nice touch pass to Lake, and she gets the basket to go in the lane. Averill posting up on Lake. Finds Sadler. Right elbow, jump shot, no good. Brown with the rebound. Over to Bender. 16-point game. The Spartans lead 47-31. Bender, floater on the baseline, no good. But Bender gets the rebound and uses the glass to finish off that one. Timeout going to be called here by the Spartans. They used their first timeout of the game. It's a 30-second timeout. Nice swing there for the Mavericks as they were able to put up 8 quick points to start off the half. And they were able to get Preston into foul trouble for the Spartans. Coming out of the timeout, the Mavericks have number 23, Amber Brown, number 42, Alexis Lake, number 1, Taysha Bender, number 3, Holly Sanders, number 15, Cynthia Perez out on the court. And for the Spartans, number 10, Julia Winnick, number 22, Chelsea Murphy, number 25, Kellyanne Averill, number 2, Melissa Sadler, and number 5, Zaria Thomas are out on the court. Thomas brings it up. In their offensive set, they have Sadler posting up on the free throw line. Sets a screen, and Thomas open for 3. She's going to shoot from the corner. That one was short. Rebound by Sadler. Was knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Spartans. Mavericks will inbound, once again being met with a press. Brown inbounds to Sanders. The pressure backs off, and Sanders brings it over the half-court line. Sanders over to Brown. Brown, she drives on Averill. Nice move that time, but couldn't get it to go. But she will be called for a traveling violation. The Spartans take over possession. Murphy over to Thomas. Winnick back over to Thomas. Inside that time. That pass was knocked away by Lake. 19 seconds on the shot clock. 5:28 left in this third quarter. 47-33, the Mavericks trail. Thomas inbounds to Averill. Winnick finds Thomas off the screen. Murphy inside, looks inside and finds Averill on the opposite post. 3-point shot from Winnick that time is no good. Rebound fought over, and a foul is going to be called on the floor that time. Foul is going to be on number 1, Tasha Bender. Her first, the team's first of the third quarter. The pass inside that time to Kellyanne Averill leads to the foul. Foul that time is on number 3, Holly Sanders. The Mavericks pick up 2 quick fouls there. And that last possession, Averill misses her first from the line. Averill gets the bounce that time. 1 for 2 from the line. Bender being chased by Winnick. Setting the offense. Brown drops to the post. Lake gets called up for a screen. Sanders looking inside. Lake had position, but the pass was too long. Thomas steals it away. Murphy up top, wide open for 3. She pulls up. Came up short that time. Sanders gets the miss. Bender back up top to Sanders. Sanders drives, kicks it out to Bender. She'll drive herself. Right hand shot is blocked by Winnick. Murphy sets up the offense, dribbles to her left. He calls up Averill, finds her up top. Winnick cuts across. Averill driving on Brown. The shot, no good. Good defense there from Brown. That one was last touched by the Mavericks. Going to be a timeout here called by the Mavericks. 48-33 the score with 4:13 left in this third quarter. Looks like Coach Lagas just wants to try and change the momentum of this one. A lot of fast-paced play going on. Timeout slows it down and gets his players a quick breather. Play resumes. The Spartans are inbound from the baseline. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Averill over to Thomas. Fakes out Bender and drives. Bender recovers and gets the steal. Sanders over to Bender. Finds Perez flashing to the top. Sanders inside for Lake. Jostling for position that time. Lake was fouled underneath. Melissa Sadler picks up her third. The team's third. Bender inbounds to Lake. Over to Sanders. Calls up Perez. Nobody open. She dribbles it herself. Still looking, stops a dribble that time. Brown couldn't corral that pass, and the Spartans take possession. Murphy gets a screen from Winnick. Averill up top to Thomas. Murphy back around that time. Averill sets up in the lane. That position on Brown and gets the right-handed layup to go. 50-33, 3:22 left in this third quarter. Bender over to Sanders. Right wing, looks inside for Lake. Gets it that time. Gets the easy two. Good look inside by Sanders. Gets Lake the easy bucket inside. Murphy over to Averill. Thomas. Murphy on the inside. Looks inside for Averill once again. She's surrounded by Mavericks. The shot from Thomas, wide open in the left corner, is good for three. $18-point game. 53-35. Lake throws it up that time. Can't get it to go. Rebounded by Thomas. Murphy pushes. The offense being set up. Sadler at the right elbow. Drives on Lake. The shot's good, and the foul on the freshman Lake. Lake picks up her first. The team's third. A couple subs coming in for the Mavericks. Number 2, Anna Zaborowska, and number 5, Abigail Collier, replace Alexis Lake and Holly Sanders. And another sub incoming for the Spartans. Looks like they're going to sub for the shooter. Sadler can't get the first one to go. Collier corrals the rebound. Bender gets the outlet and pushes. She drives the lane, looks inside. Collier wide open. Left-handed layup is good. Murphy stops at the elbow, retreats back over to Thomas. Wide open for three. That one's no good. The rebound corralled by Brown. She went in all alone, but was fouled. Fouls on number 10, Julia Winnick, her second, the team's fourth. Substitutions coming in, number 21, Victoria Carisco, and number 11, Jillian Lynch, to take the place of Melissa Sadler and Zaria Thomas. Perez over to Brown. Drives and uses the left hand, but couldn't get the basket to go. Murphy almost loses it, but gets possession now. It's met by Zaborowski at the free throw line. Calls up Lynch. Over to Carisco. Her shot grazes off the rim. Rebounded by Bender. She pushes. Finds Brown. Brown went up that time and was fouled on the way up. Fouls charged to number 22, Chelsea Murphy, her second, the team's fifth of the third quarter. Brown to shoot two. Brown makes the first. Substitution for the Spartans, number 12, Alexa Huertas, takes the place of Chelsea Murphy, 22. The second is good for Brown, 2 for 2 that time. Brown picks up her 8th point of the night from the free throw line. Huertas looks to set up a pass, but is called for the traveling violation. The Mavericks inbound on the sideline. Over to Bender, pressured by Winnick. calls up Collier on the right. Gets the screen. Drives, and is going to be called for an offensive foul. Taysha Bender picks up her second, the team's fourth. Huertas running the point. Directing traffic and finds Lynch. Back over to Winnick. Lynch wide open on the right wing. Her three is good. 58-39, 19-point game. Bender over to Zaborowska. Perez for three. That one's no good. Rebounds corralled by Crisco. Huertas over to Crisco. Winnick for three. That one's good. The shooters are open in the corners. They're finding them, and the Spartans are up by 22. Bender looking to set up the offense. Can't find anybody open. Collier couldn't control that pass. Zaborowska guarding her. And is going to be called for the elbow. Zaborowska picks up her second, the team's fifth of the third quarter. Huertas shoots two for the Spartans, making the first. Goes 2 for 2 that time from the line. Bender, the last second heave, comes up short. Coach Lagas is looking for a foul call there. And after three, it'll be a score of 63-39. The Spartans lead the Mavericks.
I want you to listen carefully to this one-hit wonder to see how many people out there know the answer to this following question. The year that this song was a hit.
2 timeouts remaining for the Mavericks, 4 in the arsenal for the Spartans.
Mike Tyson, UNLV won the men's national championship. The Edmonton Oilers won the Stanley Cup. The 49ers won the Super Bowl. And Stanford won the women's national championship. Was the year 1988, 89, 90, or 91? I heard an incorrect guess. Must have come from the lacrosse team.
Coming back out now for the Mavericks will be the group of Zaborowska, Bender, Perez, Collier, and Brown to start the fourth quarter.
Win the national championship along with Stanford. The 49ers won the Super Bowl. The Oilers won the Stanley Cup. And Buster Douglas knocked out Mike Tyson in one of the biggest sports upsets of all time. Congratulations, you knew the answer. You are a timeout trivia 2 master.
Spartans send out Lynch, Adams, Crisco, Preston, and Huertas. Brown the inbound. Bender met by Huertas at half court. Over to Brown. Zaborowska cross court to Perez. Dribbles it back up now, looking for a pass and finds Bender. Bender is fouled on her drive to the basket by Lynch. Lynch picks up her first, the team's first of the fourth quarter. Bender inbounding from the baseline. Zaborowska looked like she was going to shoot, but was fouled by Adams on her drive to the baseline. Adams picks up her second, the team's second of the fourth quarter. 28 seconds. Shot clock's reset here. Collier hits the inbounds, finding Zaborowska, guarded closely by Adams. Zaborowska stops her dribble and tries to hand off to Bender. She gathers the loose ball, guarded closely by Huertas. Brown over to Zaborowska, inside to Brown. She backs down Crisco and gets the foul call. That foul was charged to number 30, Emily Preston, her fourth, the team's third. Amber Brown to shoot 2. First is good from the sophomore. Substitution, Ruth Adams and Emily Preston check out, and number 25, Kellyanne Averill, and number 2, Melissa Sadler check back in. Brown converts that time from the line, 2 for 2. Cuts the deficit to 24. Huertas over to Lynch. Lynch up top to Carisco. Huertas inside. Averill fakes out Perez and shoots. That one's no good. Rebounded by Sadler, and the putback is good. 65-41, the score. Bender gets stripped, regains possession and finds Zaborowska. Inside, Brown sets up on the post. The shot's no good. Brown giving it her all that time, but the ball went out of bounds. Possession will go to the Spartans. Substitution, Chelsea Murphy, number 22, checks in for Alexa Huertas for the Spartans. Murphy over to Lynch. Carisco back to Lynch for 3. Unguarded, and it's good. Lynch hits her second three-pointer of the night, increasing the deficit for the Mavericks to 27. Brown up top looking for Collier inside. Pass was kicked by Averill. Mavericks will inbound from the sideline. 15 seconds on the shot clock, 8:12 left on the game clock. Perez over to Brown. Drives the lane, throws up the right-handed layup, but that one's no good. Carisco gets the rebound and finds Murphy on the outlet pass. Murphy over to Carisco. Lynch back to Murphy. Good cut by Sadler, sets her up on the baseline for a jump shot. That one's no good. And the ball was kicked out of bounds by Sadler. The Mavericks take possession. Collier will take a seat, and number 42, Alexis Lake, check back in for the Mavericks. Bender over to Brown on the right wing. Zaborowska cutting through. Brown for 3. That one's no good. Lake gets the rebound and is called for a traveling violation. Murphy brings it up. 68-41. 7:28 left in this fourth quarter. Averill finds a wide open Murphy. Her jump shot from the right elbow is no good. Lake gets the rebound, finds Zaborowska. 2-on-1. Couldn't be executed that time. Zaborowska's bounce pass too hard. Number 20, Georgia Smith, takes the place of Melissa Sadler for the Spartans. Averill on the left wing. Finds a cutting Carisco. Inside that time for Averill. She's fouled, and the bucket counts. Perez picks up her second foul. her first, the team's first of the fourth quarter. Averill to shoot. That one's no good. The rebound's chased after by Smith. Murphy up top. Setting up the offense, sending Carisco around. Averill drives. That one's no good. Lake grabs the board, finds Bender. Bender drives, and she's fouled on the way in. Charge to Chelsea Murphy that time. 3 fouls for Murphy that time. Team's fourth of the fourth quarter. Zabaraska over to Brown. Brown looking inside and finds Perez on the left wing. Lake getting position inside. And the foul is going to be charged to number 20, Georgia Smith, her first, the team's fifth of the fourth quarter. Lake will shoot 2 for the Mavericks. They trail 70-41 with 6:20 left. First is good for Lake. Zaria Thomas checks in for Averill. Lake misses the back end of the 2 free throws. Smith gets the rebound and finds Murphy, sets up the offense here. Carisco to Lynch, right corner, up top to Smith. Smith looking, finds Murphy. Murphy drives and stripped by Brown. Lake gets the loose ball, looking for a pass, finds Bender. Bender pushing. 4 Spartans back on defense. Over to Brown. Zabaraska for 3. That one's no good. Rebounded by Smith. Over to Murphy. Smith collecting 2 boards on the last 2 possessions. That one was a pass inside to Lynch. She drove and was fouled by Cynthia Perez. Perez is 4th, the team's 2nd of the 4th quarter. Number 23, Stefania Giorgio checks in for the Spartans. Lake inside, looking for position. Can't get the shot to go. Smith with the rebound. Giorgio. Over to Smith at the free throw line. Guarded closely by Lake. Brodeur Muir gets the ball deflected away by Lake. Giorgio. Over to Smith. Smith guarded closely by Lake, and she'll be charged with the foul. Lake's 2nd, the team's 3rd of the 4th quarter. Substitution for the Mavericks, number 3, Holly Sanders, taking the place of Cynthia Perez. Lynch over to Giorgio. Smith. Stripped away by Lake, and she's going to be called for the foul. That's Lake's 3rd. Team's 4th. Lynch inbounding for the Spartans. Going to find Giorgio. Up top, guarded closely by Bender. Giorgio drives the lane, stops, and finds Lynch outside. Thomas drives with the left hand and is sent back by Brown. but they're going to get Brown with the foul that time. Brown puts up her first, the team's fifth of the fourth quarter. Zaria Thomas will shoot 2 for the Spartans. They lead 70-42. She makes the first. Two for 2 that time for Thomas. 30-point game. Bender. Over to Lake. Lake back to Bender. She drives baseline, throws up the right-handed shot, but it's no good. Fouled underneath that time by Zaria Thomas. That's her second, the team's fifth. The Spartans are over the limit, so Bender will shoot 2. Her first is no good. That one is no good. Misses them both that time. Smith up to Giorgio. Giorgio over to Lynch on the right wing. Giorgio to Smith at the top of the key. Brodeur Muir drives. Right-handed floater. No good. But fouled on the way up. Fouls charged to Amber Brown. Her third, the team's 6th. Brodeur Muir makes the first. The second is good for Muir. Timeout called. Full timeout for the Mavericks. Been a tough go of it here tonight for the Mavericks. They trail 74-42. The performance from Zaria Thomas leading the way for the Spartans with 18 points here tonight. The Mavericks were led by Tasha Bender. She had 12 points. Alexis Lake chipped in 9. Amber Brown had 8. And Sanders had 2 out of the group on the court right now. .351 left in the fourth. Brown inbounds to Bender. Over to Zaborowska. Brown to Bender. She drives and finds Zaborowska. Over to Brown. Guarded closely by Lynch. Drives baseline. Stops and throws up the left-handed shot. No good. Lake gets the rebound and is fouled on the way up. Brodeur Muir picks up her first foul of the game. Lake will shoot 2 for the Mavericks. That one is good from Lake that time. Second one rattles home. The freshman from Lakeview, New York has 11 points on the night. Giorgio up top to Brodeur Muir. Lynch dribbling it out and finds Smith. Cutting Giorgio He kicks it out to Thomas. Thomas brings it back up top. Off her foot that time, over to Smith. Smith, Berto Muir with the nice pass to Lynch for the easy 2. Good cut from Lynch and a nice pass from Berto Muir. Led to the bucket there for the Spartans. Bender for 3. Top of the key. That one's good. Tasha Bender has 15 for the Mavericks. Thomas over to Lynch. Back to Giorgio. Giorgio looks inside, and it's stolen away by Sanders. Sanders up ahead to Bender. Fast break layup opportunity is converted. Bender adds another basket to her total for 17 points on the evening. Timeout called.
Timeout is called. 2:24 remaining in the fourth quarter.
By the Mavericks. That's their last of the evening. Score 76-49. 2:24 left in this fourth quarter. And fans, don't forget to stick around for the second half of this doubleheader between the St. Thomas Aquinas College Spartans and Mercy College Mavericks, as the men will take the court at 7 p.m. Alexa Huertas is in. Check in for Giorgio. Brodor Muir over to Smith. Ruth Adams, also fresh off the bench, takes a shot. That one's no good. Brodor Muir back out to Adams. Huertas over to Lynch. Brodor Muir guarded by Lake up top. Drives and throws up the right-handed layup, and it's good off glass. Santos checks back in for the Mavericks. Hands off to Sanders. Santos inside the Lake. Lake takes a step and can't make the layup, but is fouled on the way up. Lynch is the culprit. Second foul of the game for her. Lake makes the first. Lynch will take a seat, and Stefania Giorgio checks back in. Lake makes the second. 2 for 2 that time for Lake. 13 points for her. Smith that time, no good. Collier gets the rebound. Sanders up ahead. Collier from the free throw line. Good jump shot made from Collier. Giorgio over to Smith. Smith inside to Ruth Adams. Adams backing down Zaborowska. The layup opportunity misses. Sanders pushing it up ahead. The drive, and that one's good off glass. The Mavericks still getting some support from the Mercy College faithful in attendance here. 78-55. 44 seconds left. Huertas over to Brodor Muir. Giorgio stops at the free throw line and pops. That one's no good. Rebounded by Adams. She goes back up with it. No good. Lake wrestles away the rebound. Finds Sanders. Over to Santos. Calls up Lake. Gets a screen to her right. Drives and finds Zaborowska. Thought about a three. And finds Collier. Collier over to Sanders. Knocked away. No backcourt as it was deflected into the backcourt. 2 seconds left. Sanders throws up the shot from the elbow, and it is no good. And after 4 quarters of play. The score, the St. Thomas Aquinas College Spartans 78. The Mavericks finished with 55. Kellyanne Averill paced the Spartans with 12 points. Zaria Thomas added 18, and the Mavericks got a good performance from Alexis Lake, number 42, and Tasha Bender, number 1. Lake had 13 and Bender had 17. That one will go down as a loss in the scorebooks for the Mavericks. They moved to 3 and 4. The next matchup is on the road on December 8th. And some final totals here. Brown added 10. Sanders had 5 assists on the evening. The Mavericks out-rebounded the Spartans were out-rebounded 44 to 34. Their shooting percentage dropped in the second half from 55.6 in the first, and they finished with a 40% field goal percentage. For the game, they shot 41.9%. Let's see here. And from the free throw line, the Spartans shot 81.3% compared to the Mavericks' 68.2%. Stick around about a half hour before the Spartans and the Mavericks will do it again. This time the men take the court. 7 o'clock start time for that one. Please stay tuned, and we'll be back for the start of that one.